I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you either get it or skip it for the all-new 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz First Edition in Cabana Blue and Candy White exterior. All electric, no gas variant, over 230-mile range, around 9-hour charging, and about 33 minutes for a DC charge from 10 to 80%. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons, compare this against the competition, and I'll throw in a problem that I have with the new Buzz. I like that the new Bus looks similar to the original because with minivans, you typically have a huge overhang. That's not going to be the case here. I mean, look how humongous the front windscreen is, and it goes around the A-pillar, so it actually makes more visibility for the front occupants, making it a little bit easier or kind of a bus drive. The front fascia will have the in-your-face Volkswagen badging, has the illuminated light bar that integrates into the adaptive LED headlights, daytime runnings, cornering lights, bad weather lights. They take care of you with everything there, and it doesn't look like an electric variant. So that is definitely the first reason why I would get it, because when you go for electric vehicles, typically it's all like a plastic look. This actually looks like a traditional gas variant. The lower is going to have the grille pattern that integrates into the air pocket. Front and rear parking sensors. You get a 360-degree reverse camera on the Pro S. That's kind of the sweet spot for this vehicle. And powering this electric vehicle is a 91 kilowatt lithium-ion battery pack. That's good for 282 horsepower with 413 pound-feet of torque. That itself is crazy. Total range of 234 miles. In going 4Motion, you'll lose about 3 miles. But the beauty about going 4Motion is your horsepower increases to 335 with 512 pound-feet of torque. With the rear-wheel drive, that's going to give you 83 mpges, city 90 mpges, 75 mpges for the highway. Now, if you go 4Motion, a lot of people in the comments are going to say, well, this is a heavy bus. It is, because going 4Motion is almost 6,200 pounds. 250 pounds lighter this is, so I personally would go to the 4Motion, spend a few extra thousand, because you're going to have a lot more power underneath this RC vehicle. Volkswagen badging on the gloss black for the door panel. I like the first edition badging on the back because it gives it more of a race heritage, and these 20-inch upgraded wheels. Now, when you don't put the hubcaps, it's going to look very retro. When you put the hubcaps, it still looks retro, so any way you fix your wheel configuration, I think they do a good job with that. Safety, well, that's taken care of. ID Drive featuring travel assist with semi-autonomous driving assist, adaptive cruise control. That's going to include stop and go, lane assist with lane keeping system, emergency assist with semi-automatic vehicle assist. Also, frontal assist with front collision warning and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist monitoring. Active side assist, which is the blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Competition. Honda, they don't make any electric vehicle. Toyota, they don't either. They have a hybrid. Kia, same thing. This is the only electric minivan that exists for North America, in which it makes it a little bit more unique, because it's not only reviving the old bus, but it's adding that electrified blueprint. Now, the first reason why I would skip it is because the 4Motion you can only get on the top 2 trims. LED taillights, this is the IQ lighting. It goes into a light bar in the rear, Volkswagen badging that pops out with the ID Buzz print, and the lower keeps it simplified. The box looks similar to the Kia EV9, but that's an SUV. That's why this is a lot more unique, because if you're wanting to step into the electric world and get an RC vehicle, this is the only way you can get a minivan. And check out the versatility. Power liftgate going into 18.6 cubic feet of storage behind the third row. Now, it's not going to be like a traditional minivan. You just have space here. Doesn't have any space to go any deeper. You also have cargo holders here. Fortunately, you'll have to remove this on both sides in order to slide out the third row bench. So we're going to just unscrew these. Now, with that set aside, you pull this lever here, you're going to see the red arrow, and then you just slide it out, in which it's a heavy seat. So I would recommend having 2 people maybe pull them out, but then you have a flat floor. It's only going to be for the third row area though. And to put them back in, simply slide it on the tracks, snaps in, And then we have to put the tray back, which this is a huge problem for me. It's a versatile van, but who has an extra 5-10 minutes to do this if they want a flat floor to go into the second row? That's a con for me. You have a 12-volt charger here, as well as bag holders, LED lighting, and a split fold the third row bench. Pull the tabs. This is going to increase cargo. It's around 76 cubic feet. But unfortunately, to fold down the seats completely flat to get the max 145.5 cubic feet that Volkswagen is talking about, you have to go back here, pull this here. You'll hear the click. And that will maximize the cargo capacity to the ID Buzz, the key fob to the new ID Buzz. 12-way power seat adjustment for the front, heated, ventilated massage seats. That is standard. This is the VTEC leatherette seating, ID badging. It's perforated. You get captain seat configuration on both sides, so this will move down, as well as on the other side, memory seats for the driver. Little area for the key fob. Now, one thing about Volkswagen that's cool, you could just put it into drive and it automatically starts the vehicle because there's a sensor on the seat. Or you can use the push button right here, which we're going to fire it up now. I'm going to try to fire it up. It's in demo mode, so nothing's actually working. Oh, there it is. Now we got everything lit up. Unfortunately, when it's in demo mode, this is what happens sometimes. And we're not able to get the screen to come on, so we're going to have to put it into gear so that way you can actually see the 12.9 infotainment screen with navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Going up to the Pro S, you will get the 13 speakers through Harman Kardon. Here's all the apps that you have, including the Climatron, which is standard climate control throughout the interior. You click onto here for your massage seats. Now, a con to me is you only have 3 different ways, and it's only for the lumbar. It's cool because you can change how many minutes you want, but it maxes at 30 minutes, and it's going to just basically push air into those areas. But what is cool is the assistant. You can just click onto here, turn anything on or off, so it makes it a lot easier so you don't have to go through all of that terminology. You just simply see what it is, turn it off. You don't want the speed sign warning, turn it on or off. And for the Climatron, just click onto here and you can do everything that you need by turning up and down. The fan speed, you can simply click onto here and you can either go like this or you can go like that. I don't know why that's turning on. Oh, I must have touched it right there. And you can also touch these physical little buttons right here, as well as for the sound system here. Putting it into reverse, we do have a 360-degree reverse camera. We're not able to turn it on. Front and rear parking sensors, and you can pretty much see all around the vehicle. I actually did not let off the brake, so let's do this again. This is the big problem that I have with this electric vehicles. Like, it literally just does not want to work. And I'm sure in the comments people are going to say, well, it's because you're doing this and this and this. My foot's been on the brake the whole time. And with the ambient lighting, you can also change different moods for the interior. For the driving mode, click simply on the icon and you have a few different driving modes, as well as custom, which you can tailor this to make it a little bit more sporty for you. Click onto the vehicle, click onto the electrochromic smart glass, which means, look at that, you can see outside. Now it'll close it. LED interior lights, auto dimming rear view mirror. This feature is only going to be on the first edition, so that is cool. Harman Kardon sound system, 13 speakers start on the Pro S, which is kind of the sweet spot in this vehicle. Wood inlays through the center, satin aluminum through the top that's going to wrap around. And I like how they utilize everything for the air vents because they're tucked underneath here, but I kind of wish that this was more integrated into the dash. And as for the passenger side, plenty of space. Con to me though is how this bulges inwards. But overall, I mean, look, you can even open this and my knees are still not touching it. And for access over here, it's still doable. Even though it's a driver focused setup, they do a good job where they place the buttons. Storage on the passenger side with a cubby right here that starts on the Pro S as well. These are adjustable, which it's very hard to adjust them and put them back. So I would recommend not doing that. You have the USB ports in the wireless charging pad here. So it does make it more driver focused and yet not so usable for the passenger. So that is definitely a con. But look at the visibility that you have in the front. It is huge. You don't see hardly any overhang at all. You just see a dash and then basically you feel there. So it's literally like a bus. Leather wrap steering wheel, heated, multi-function. And the gauge cluster is attached to the steering column. It's not power telescoping steering wheel, which at this price I would like to see that. And you can go through some content for the driver. It will basically tell you everything that's working or not working. In this case, there's a lot of stuff that isn't because it is still not fully PDI'd. You have the push buttons right here, so it cleans that up. So you don't have buttons everywhere. Multi buttons here, so you'll just simply turn it and you'll see, so that way you don't have a whole bunch of stuff. So minimalistic look, that's what they do. Even for the rear windows, you'll just simply click the button for rear and now you can roll down the rear windows. Door panel and dash configuring together. I do like the retro styling, but it's really only soft right where it needs to be. It is one of the best interior looks though, I feel, for a van. This is a deep storage pocket so you can fit an umbrella. That's how you open the trunk, a large storage pocket. But this van definitely lacks on cup holders for the front occupants. For the second row, power folding slide doors. It's going to be on all trims. You have a little step right here. Easter egg coming into the back. I like the grab handle. I wish it was leather. It's rubber, but it's doable. You got the Climatron in the back on both sides. Push here. That's going to automatically shut the doors, which will reveal a touch of an armrest. The heated rear seats. Check this out. That's the window. That's just super cool. I like that a lot. USB ports here. You have kind of a cup holder here. You have 2 tiers of storage, so that actually works out well. And there's no cup holders or armrests here, but another 2 tiers of storage. One con to me, this is a minivan, there's no storage. That should kind of pop out, it doesn't. It's a little storage bin, which is fine. And we don't have any captain seat configuration here, so you actually have to use these armrests. Leg space is huge. I mean, look at that. Even if I slide all the way up, I'm gonna have a ton. And it's gonna be the same thing in the third row. Headroom is more than enough. The panel moonroof comes all the way into the back. So it does look futuristic, but in the back, it does lack for cup holders considering the Atlas has 17 cup or bottle holders found throughout. And because of the generous legroom, you can just stretch it out for the second row. Before we go into the third row, look at this warning symbol. Crazy. Pull this tab here. It's heavy because it's new. It's going to slide forward. That's the opening that you have to fit 2 more, which is quite a bit of space. You're going to have USB ports in the back. You also have a cup holder, kind of an armrest with the Easter egg of the Buzz, and it's going to be on both sides. And you have another little pocket here that you can fit probably a cup or bottle. Headroom, I have to say it is one of the best in class for that. As for legroom, let's move this back. This would be in the middle position for the second row, which is still quite a bit. This is all the way back and reclined, and I still have room, which is definitely the best in class for any minivan. Taking the ID Buzz First Edition out, rear wheel drive, 282 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. That is crazy. Definitely class leading, considering this is still a minivan. Now the all-wheel drive 4Motion will top that with 335 horsepower and 512 pound-feet of torque. I mean, that is insane, the difference that you're getting between the 2 trims going 4Motion to rear-wheel drive. Towing capacity is about 2,600 pounds, so maybe 35-ish hundred pounds, which isn't bad for a full electric minivan. And it's spot on class whenever you're comparing it against anybody that would be a minivan, as well as 4-wheel independent suspension. So even though we got 20-inch wheels, the ride to this should be comfortable. Now we have it in sport mode so we can really see how well she performs. We're not gonna go too crazy here because you see what's going on, and unfortunately, the car is not driving at all. Sound deadening is pretty good. Maneuverability isn't bad, but for some odd reason, the vehicle is not driving worth it. Now, because this is a minivan, you don't really look for performance. You have some decent speeds. It's going to be in the 6-second margin, maybe around 7 seconds, because this is not the all-wheel drive variant. Visibility is great. It does feel wide and a lot longer than the vehicle is. It definitely feels like a bus. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting with the pros is we finally got the bus back. The con is it's only an electric variant, which if this was a gas variant, I would be a little bit more excited about it. And check out this turn radius. I mean, this is crazy. Literally, look how tight this is. You don't even have to do a 3-point turn, nothing. You just continue straight, mash on the gas, and the torque's gonna push you back because you have plenty of it. Going back to the pros, they keep it simplified, very unique. The con is this touchscreen interface because it has a lot of glitch, especially if you start playing with it and you're trying to change different things on this radio, for instance. It can literally say, pay attention to driving, and just kind of not let you do anything. And you've already seen in the interior part of the review, sometimes they'll illuminate or turn on, and sometimes they just won't. The big problem that I have is the technology. There's a lot of glitch. It can work sometimes, it can't work sometimes. This is a vehicle that we have been waiting for in North America. It's here. These things should be bulletproof. Comparing it against competition, it's definitely going to stand out of class. And the last reason why I would skip it is because I feel the technology is a little too advanced, because it hasn't caught up to the vehicle in the sense of being able to actually function 100% properly. But as you drive this vehicle, it's not only unique, you're gonna get some thumbs up, you're gonna get heads turning. But if I was looking for an electric van, the final reason why I would get it is by far this is the best in class for each row in leg headroom capacity, technology, safety, blended into an everyday vehicle that you're not going to have to worry about miles. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Volkswagen of Newport Richey for giving us this 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz First Edition for our car review.